Hello and welcome to 2CrazyMedia. I'm your host Matthew, and today I'm going to be giving my review on Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. It's been a long time coming. It's been about a week since the game released, and I've been able to put a ton of time into the game, really make sure I can experience everything since it is a pretty big size game. And now that I feel like I've done mostly everything I wrapped credits on it a couple days ago, finished all like the important side missions, especially the ones that are new to the remake, just a day ago, and so now I feel like I am fully ready to give my review, and it's just going to be me for today's video since my co-host did not play this game. So it's just me, and I'm going to be giving a full in-depth review on the game in today's video. So let's just get into it because I've got a lot to say about this game. So to start with some quick facts about the game itself, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced was developed by Ubisoft Singapore. It was also helped by like 15 other studios at Ubisoft, which is very cool. It had a release date of July 9th, 2026, so just last week. It is currently, as of Thursday, July 6th, it is sitting on OpenCritic with a score of 85 and a Metacritic with a score of 84, so we're very good. In terms of the amount of time I've spent playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, or at least the clock my PlayStation tells me, right now it says I have about 54 hours into the game. Again, the PlayStation clock is not always the most correct thing in the world. I could have more, I could have less, but I'm sure it's around 54 hours, and I think I wrapped credits on it, like rolled credits on the game a couple days ago with about like somewhere around 24, 27 hours. So fairly long, fairly big game. And now I'm just kind of cleaning up all stuff I haven't done yet, because I am enjoying it so far. The platforms you can play this game on is PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, so everywhere you'd expect, except for Switch 2, which maybe that will come later down the line. The platform I played it on was PS5 Pro, so I got some extra enhancements and some better graphics and all that stuff. So the game definitely looked really, really good. And then just to give a quick little short synopsis, the iconic solo pirate adventure returns. Sail the Caribbean as Edward Kenway during the golden age of piracy in this faithfully enhanced remake featuring stunning visuals, upgraded gameplay, and new content. So let's jump into my review. I'm going to first start with giving my first thoughts on the game, then going to go into some pros, some cons, and then finally rate it out of 10. So let's just jump straight into it. And by the way, I'm going to try my best to avoid spoilers, but there may be some spoilers. But at the same time, this game also came out really technically 13 years ago, so I'll try not to spoil the new missions that much. But, you know, this game's been out for a while now, I feel like. So I will try to avoid as many spoilers as I can, but I can't promise that I may say something that may not say something that is technically a spoiler. So yeah, just want to say that. So let's jump in first with my first overall thoughts on the game, my first thoughts. And that's that. To start, I gotta preface that I've never played the original Assassin's Creed Black Flag. When it came out in 2013, I was playing video games then. I had just bought my first ever Xbox One. And funny enough, my Xbox One that I bought came with a disc copy of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the original, but I never actually played it. I think that game just sat in my closet or my right next to the console forever, because at that point I wasn't really into. I didn't think I was into Assassin's Creed. I never gave it a shot because I was just, when I bought my Xbox and I got it for the first time after having a Nintendo Wii and all the Nintendo 3DS and all those consoles for so many years, the only games I played on my Xbox were Forza, like Forza Horizon 2 and all that stuff. Like, that's all I played. So I never touched Assassin's Creed Black Flag back in the day. It's just kind of always sitting there. So I never actually have gone to check out Black Flag before. This is my first time. I'm not new to the Assassin's Creed franchise, though. I have played many of them in the past few years. I think I started, if I remember, with Valhalla, I believe. That was the first one that I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this one a shot. I'm going to open it up. Let's try Black Flag. Let's try Assassin's Creed. Everyone's talking about it. So I went into Valhalla. I liked it. It was fun. Went back, played Odyssey, Origins, and then I've played a couple other Assassin's Creed like Shadows, so mainly just the RPG games. I haven't really gone and experienced the Assassin's Creed games, the non-RPG ones that people love the most. So this is really my first introduction to that kind of Assassin's Creed, the one that people are so reminiscent on, the kind of Assassin's Creed that so many people miss. And so, but I've enjoyed the Assassin's Creed formula of, and I guess it's kind of the big Ubisoft formula of having this big map with tons to explore, and it's very heavily detailed, and transportation, and then kind of capturing bases and forts and all that stuff, and other just collectathon world content that Ubisoft games are known to have, and this game is no different. It has all of that stuff, and I have enjoyed that with these games, especially because I like to, once I finish the story and don't have much story content left, and I just have a bunch of like collectibles and stuff and forts to capture and all that stuff, I usually just like to put on a podcast or a YouTube video in the background and just kind of play the game like that. So to jump in, this is my first time ever playing Black Flag, and my first time ever diving into an Assassin's Creed game that isn't an RPG focused game, and I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to tailor more of my review on still what was added with the remake, the Resynced version, and not the original, because if I were to review the original, I would just do a review on Black Flag 2013. I'm here to, obviously, I am going to account the story, but I'm not going to account it too much, because that was all just in the original. I'm mainly going to have my review count towards all the new stuff, like the new rework combat, all that stuff. So to just jump into it, I really enjoyed this game a lot. I knew I would, just because I've enjoyed the past Assassin's Creed games that I've played, but honestly, I would say that this might be my favorite Assassin's Creed game I've ever played. And while that may not be too hard to beat, since, they're not like the best games I've ever played, I really, really did like the emphasis on exploration in this game. The seamless exploration was my favorite part. I think Black Flag, what this game does so well, and I know it's a new feature, where in the original Black Flag, you had to there were loading screens between all the big cities, like Nassau and Havana and Kingston and all the other islands and stuff you can explore and go to. And with this game, they really opened up the exploration, where there are no more loading screens. You can go everywhere seamlessly. There's so many more new islands to explore and travel to and dock at, and kind of just explore and see all these animals and the flora and the fauna and different chests and boat contracts and naval contracts and all that stuff to do. And I really love the exploration. I enjoy exploring games and just exploring the world, and I think this game does it so well, where this is in my opinion, the perfect summer game, where the whole time, this whole world, you are traveling in this really tropical area where you're going on so many islands in the Caribbean and exploring, and everything's like white sandy beaches and beautiful blue waters, and I loved it. I thought it works really, that was my favorite part of the game. I love exploring. And I think what helps that is the graphics. I think the graphics are also gorgeous in the game. This game looks beautiful. The Assassin's Creed games are they are not new to having amazing graphics. This game looks absolutely fantastic. It is a gorgeous looking game, especially on the PS5 Pro, but I'm sure it looks just as good on base PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. This is a fantastic, fantastic looking game. I took so many screenshots of this game while playing, just so many times, of the lighting and the different beaches and how blue and everything the water looks when you're out on the ship. It's a great, great, great looking game. Even the cutscenes look really good. The facial animations and the hair and all that stuff on these characters, while not the most important thing in the world, I think do add to it all. This game looking really, really good. But yeah, the seamless exploration is just what was my favorite part. Just going from island to island on your ship, the fun ship. I love the controls of the pirate ship and getting to control the jackdaw, and having the sea shanties was so fun, and getting to choose which song, and getting just listening to that while sailing the high seas with the jackdaw. Every once in a while, fighting a couple enemies with the naval combat, which is also really good. I heard it hasn't been reworked that much from the original. It's pretty much the same, and I like the naval combat. That's a thing that a lot of people raved about from the original. I mean, it spawned its own spin-off of Skull and Bones, which was spawned because people love the naval combat in Black Flag so much that they said, let's just turn the naval combat into a full-size live service game. And so, yeah, it is that good. It totally makes sense why that was spun into maybe not great game, but still it makes sense why they did that with how good that naval combat is. Also, the combat. I know that's another new thing that was added. To go into what was new. I think the great thing about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is that this doesn't just feel like we're going to put a fresh coat of paint on the original game. We're going to make the graphics look, we're going to make the game look like it would look, what it would look like in modern day. Pump up the graphics, pump up all the stuff, and change the seamless exploration. It's not just that, which is nice. There's so much new content. They removed some stuff from the story, like all the modern day stuff that was in the original game was removed, which honestly I kind of like because I've just heard the modern day stuff. Some people like it, some people don't. And although there wasn't as much modern day stuff in some of the RPG Assassin's Creed games, there still were some modern day stuff, and every single time that would happen, I would always kind of check out. Like, I don't care about the modern day characters, I don't care about that stuff. I am into, and I know that can sometimes make the whole fight with the Templars a little more confusing and add less context to it all, but I still would rather just have you immersed with these characters in the past that you're playing as, instead of constantly going into the future or modern day technically and all that stuff. Like, I much prefer just sticking in this game with Edward Kenway, and that's it. Like, there are a couple missions, like Rift missions, that they have. Like, I think there's 4 of them. I've only done 2 of them so far, and to be honest with you, I just don't care for them at all. Like, I don't think I'll do the other 2 just because they're so boring and pointless in my opinion, and I don't care. They look cool at times, but that's about it. I don't really, But some of the other new stuff with this remake is, I just love how much of a change it is from the original, from what I've heard of, that I like the rework of the combat. I really like the combat in this game. I think it is fun. I read something online which I really, really agreed with, and I thought this was awesome. And they said, in this game, you are not hitting enemies to damage them like other games where you're hitting enemies constantly you're not attacking enemies to damage them. You are attacking enemies to kill them. Where, yeah, you can swing your sword at them and break down their block, and then do the takedown on them, or just kind of quickly take down their health after that. But you're more so focused. You're more so, I guess. The game wants you to play it a little slower with combat this time, where you are waiting for an enemy to attack you, so you can parry or dodge that attack, and then quickly hit them with a parry attack. And then if you parry them, then boom, you can take them down. And sometimes, depending on what sword you have, sometimes you'll be able to do 3 takedowns at one time after a parry, or 4. And I think that's awesome. I love how fun. I think it feels good. The parries feel great, and that's what you need in a game that is so parry heavy, parry focused. They feel good. The takedowns are awesome. I love doing takedowns on enemy. Like, yeah, the combat will move slow because you are waiting for an enemy to attack you, and that's kind of how it works. But you kill them so fast after, because you hit them with the parry, and you take them down, you take down another one, you take down another one, you hit another one with a parry, you take them down, take down. I love that. I think it's so much fun. I think the whole pressing the right trigger down and either kicking someone and doing a takedown that way, or pressing triangle while pressing the right trigger and shooting them quickly. It's so cool. I think it all feels great, and I think it works really, really well. And it's something you've seen a lot of games, but I think works great in this game with like the takedowns, with the hidden blade and all that stuff. It's very, very cool in my opinion. Some of the other though, kind of to get into my first con though, and that's with one of the new additions to the game, and that is the new epilogue mission, the new prologue mission in the game, which is titled A World Without Gold. You unlock this chapter of the game very, very close to the end of the game, but I didn't do it until after I already rolled credits, because I'm like, I want to roll credits in the game before I do the new chapter that's supposed to take place after the story ends. So I did it, and honestly, I wasn't too big of a fan of it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the story of this game. I wasn't blown away by the story, but I liked Edward Kenway's journey a lot. I liked all the supporting characters from Anne Bonny to Thatch, and the bad guys, Torres, and the one character I just didn't like was the guy who, I'm blanking on his name, Bartholomew something. That's because he was so just kind of like one note total, like, oh, he's gonna trick you. The guy who steals the skull, who you help with to get the skull, and then he kind of steals it from you and knocks you into the thing and kind of betrays you. Like, I just did not like that guy. I didn't care for him at all. And so, but I like most of the characters. I like most of the story. I thought it has a good ending, though. Although it was an abrupt ending for me, at least, when I finished that final mission, I was shocked that was the final mission. I was like, oh, that's it? That's the end? There was no boss fight, no anything. And I know, obviously, boss fights, you could probably go most of the game without doing any boss fights if you stealth all the bosses instead and assassinate them. But still, though, I just was kind of like, it wasn't like my favorite ending. It was a very abrupt ending to me, where it just, it felt okay, it just ended. Cool. The credits are now rolling out. When the credits started rolling, I was like, oh, okay. But to kind of get into what I didn't like about the A World Without Gold chapter is that what I liked most about the story was Edward Kenway's arc of kind of going from only caring about the treasure to caring about realizing that his crew and the family that he's made with his new crew is more important than any treasure or gold out there. And that he needs to stop sacrificing his crew for more gold and more treasure. And that's kind of what you learn at the end of the game, of instead of going for this observatory the whole time, instead he's going to stop and harming his crew by doing that and focus on what's more important, which is his crew and protecting them and doing the right thing. And I thought that this whole ending chapter, this brand new chapter, just fully negates all of that, where Edward is again having the same issue where he hears about this treasure this bad guy has, and he's trying to find this treasure, and he's constantly putting his crew into risk. And every single time, after every single little mission in that chapter, and Bonnie is telling you, why would you do that? Why would you do that again? You did it a third time, you did it a fourth time, and it's just every single time, and he finally redeems himself at the end. But still, though, it's like, this kind of negates his whole character arc. And I thought the writing was fine in that whole thing. I just didn't like that. I thought that chapter would have worked so much better somewhere in like the middle of the story, or a little bit later in the story, not at the end or right after the story. Like, that didn't work for me. Though I will say, I like the other new addition is all the other crewmates the officers you can recruit. I like them all. Lucy Baldwin, I really liked her and her storyline. The Padre, very, very cool. Very, very cool. The only one I didn't love that much was Deadman, Tobias Smith. I thought he was a cool character. You meet him in, again, A World Without Gold, that chapter. So if you are kind of confused and you haven't done that chapter, I thought there were 3 officers that you can recruit in the game. Where's this third one? I finished the story. You got to do A World Without Gold, and you will unlock him through that. I thought he was fine. He's got some missions apart from A World Without Gold you can also do for him. I think he's fine. I don't love him that much, to be honest. I'm much more of a fan of Padre and Lucy Baldwin. I think they're much cooler characters. But yeah, I just love the whole, though, the way they all interact with each other and Edward. I think, Adewale is one of my favorite characters in the game. I really like Adewale and the story of him and how he goes from the beginning of the game, where you kind of meet him on a ship that you both have been captured in, quickly work together, quickly make friends, and he becomes your, I believe, your quartermaster for like most of the game. Don't want to spoil who becomes after, all that stuff. Don't want to spoil that much. But yeah, I really like Adewale. Loved Anne Bonny, loved Thatch. All these characters, so cool. Like, I love Stede Bonnet. Stede Bonnet, another one of my favorite characters in the game. He's a great guy. He's got a really cool, towards the later half of the game, you will unlock a story mission for Stede Bonnet. Definitely do that mission if you haven't already, because that is a great mission. Do it before you finish the game. It's a really, really good mission. Really touching mission. Really enjoyed that one. One of my favorites of the game, even though it is a side mission. I think that is a must-do mission, in my opinion. Super fun time. To kind of get into some of my other flaws and cons of the game, a big thing that plagues all Ubisoft games are so many bugs. Just like every other Ubisoft game, it's kind of become almost like oh, it's funny, look, another Ubisoft bug. Oh my god, it's funny, that's another. Like, you'll see, I'm sure you've all seen clips online of people playing this game and seeing ships just like go crazy in the air and fly everywhere and turn into basically cartwheels and rocket ships. And I've had a couple bugs. I had one crash, like, closed the game. That happened yesterday. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, just game crashed, reopened the game, everything was fine. Only happened to me once, thankfully. Though I did have a bug today, like right before making this video. I was playing a little bit more and I had a bug where I'm in this enemy camp, enemy fort, and there's a chest that I'm gonna open, and Edward for some reason shifts into the chest. So I am stuck in this chest and the camera is stuck in this chest, and for some reason enemies, even though they can see me shoot at them and stuff, they can't actually see me inside the chest. So I'm like, maybe if they attack me, I'll get out of it. Nothing I do, from jumping to dodging to rolling, nothing I can do will get me out of this chest. I'm stuck in this chest, and I'm like, I'm in an enemy base, I'm in enemy territory, so I can't fast travel anywhere, so I'm stuck. So I had to I closed out the game, reloaded it, and then, what do you know it, I reloaded and I'm stuck in that same chest. So I'm like, wait, am I like soft locked from ever playing this game again? Like, do I have to do a whole new save, which I'm not gonna do. I've spent so much time playing the game. Is this it for me? Thankfully, somehow I was able to wiggle out of the chest by just spamming buttons all at once, but that could have been really, really bad, and that could have ended my whole Assassin's Creed Black Flag playthrough if that had happened earlier. I could have just been done. So yeah, that was really sucks, and hopefully Ubisoft will look into that if that has happened to other people as well. But yeah, just so many bugs. I mean, from capturing enemy ships and everyone being underwater for some reason, to just super janky enemy. Oh, yeah, another thing, enemy AI are, and this goes in with a bug, because I had a lot of enemy AI bugs where they would spot me, and then like, I had one that fell through the map at one point, and just kind of, I was like, okay, that's it. I had another one that was spotted me and then just kind of ran away, which was weird. I've had a few enemies that just have like tried to attack me and then just stopped attacking me and just stood still and just let me kill them, which was interesting. So yeah, that kind of goes into another con I have, and that is the really dumb enemy AI. This AI is so dumb, and you can really cheese it. You can do the whole whistle feature in the game where they come near you and you can attract them to you. A lot of times if you're hiding in a bush or hiding behind a corner and you whistle for an enemy to come to you and you assassinate them and throw them into the bush or on the other side of the corner that you're hiding on, like mantling onto, then a lot of times another enemy, if they see it, will come over, investigate it, you can get them, and then another enemy will come investigate them and you get them. And it's, you can really cheese it to the point where I'm like, okay, how many times am I going to do this where you just cheat? Like, there were multiple times where there were straight up full group, like massive groups of enemies that I was able to just take down hiding in one bush, just because they kept just one by one coming over, like kind of feeding me more enemies just to assassinate. And it's like, okay, I guess. So that was a little like, okay. So yeah, enemy AI can be a little dumb and just a little cheesy at times. You can very much cheese them. Just like every Ubisoft game, the game is very jank at times. It can be very janky. A big thing I was kind of negative on, I thought, although the diving bell missions where you go use the diving bell to dive into areas that you can't swim to get treasure while avoiding sharks, while it looks cool and is cool at concept, I think the shark detection system was so janky for me, where there will be times where I don't even get like the shark is detecting me. It would straight up just like come for me, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, it didn't even like give me like the alert that the shark might see me, and I should go hide in like a tall seaweed or something. Like, it wasn't even that. It just would straight up just spawn coming for me, and I'm like, it's a little jank at times, I will say, and I think sometimes the swimming can also be a little jank, but I thought it was cool though. It definitely looked cool, and I liked the whole diving and how beautiful it looked underwater with the lighting and the graphics and all that stuff and the cool sharks, and it is cool, just sometimes a little janky at that. I'm trying to think of to go over kind of some of the other new content other than, so you have the new officers you can recruit, the new A World Without Gold chapter, a bunch of new islands, which all very cool. I don't know which islands are new and which ones are from the original, but all the islands are very cool. I mean, just kind of looking at comparison photos of what like towns like Nassau and Havana look like before in the original 2013 Black Flag and in the remake is just kind of insane to see how much detail they added in the new one. I think it's awesome. I think the naval combat, very, very cool in this game. Just love, and there are some things that you can unlock from different forts that so powerful. Like, some of these attacks you can unlock in the game for your ship are extremely powerful. It's kind of overpowered. It's insane. I've only been able to defeat one of the 4 legendary ships. I did have a pretty hard time with that, but now with a fully upgraded ship that I have, I feel like I should have a little bit of an easier time with the legendary ships. We'll see. But I do like how those are pretty difficult, because I feel like at this point, I've reached a point where, like, even Man of Wars, when I'm fighting them, which are like the most powerful ships in the game, those are just like super easy, and they barely take down any health on me. Especially if you're doing the blocking, if you're bracing and blocking, oh, they do barely any damage. So it's like, at least the legendary ships do add some difficulty later in the game, which is nice. I think in terms of other difficulty and enemy variety, there's very little enemy variety. You've got the normal guys with swords, you've got the guys with the knives who could be quite annoying at times with their fast attacks. You've got officers who will dodge a lot of your attacks, and you just gotta parry them, which you would with most enemies most of the time, unless you're full just attacking constantly. You've got the big guys with the axes, and then you've got these guys with like the blunderbusses, which I believe are new to the remake, if I'm not mistaken. And the enemies are fun, but after a little while, you kind of just, yeah. There's very little variety after maybe like an hour or 2 of playing. And this is a long game, so it goes for, you're going to be playing for a while, and you're going to be fighting a lot of enemies that are about the same. Another thing, one thing that I loved as well, before I kind of finish it off with my final thoughts and give it a score out of 10. Apart from the seamless exploration of just going to different islands and exploring, finding chests and loot and all that stuff, my other favorite part of this game was for sure boarding ships during naval combat. I loved boarding ships. Anytime I could board a ship during naval combat, I would. Yeah, it takes the flow and the intensity out of combat for a little bit, because you're stopping the naval combat, you're stopping the other ships from attacking. They just stop, and they just kind of wait for you to board the ship, attack on the enemies, defeat them, and choose what you want to do. But I loved it. I thought it was so cool. It was like living out your total pirate. It was like the ultimate version of living out your this total pirate fantasy. Getting to board these ships and I would always use like swing grappling hook to swing onto the ship, assassinate them, take them all out, blow up the things, and then either steal the captain's lockbox, add it to your fleet, all that stuff. Very, very, very cool. Love that part of the game. And honestly, it has not gone old for me in all 54 hours of playing. It has not got boring at all. Yes, naval combat has got a little bit dry at 54 hours into it, but boarding ships definitely has not. I still love it. I think it's awesome. It's one of the coolest features in the game. I know that was in the original, but since I never played the original, I just gotta say, it's extremely cool. So yeah, now to kind of end it all off, my final thoughts to kind of close it all out. I think the great thing about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is that, like I said, it does more than just be a normal Coda Pate from the original. Yes, the graphics look really, really good and have been enhanced by a lot. There's more detail in the world. There's more stuff. They added more islands you can go to. Seamless exploration. But there's so much more than that in this remake that makes it, honestly, very worth it if you have played the original. I know if you played the original and enjoyed it, I would highly recommend checking this game out if you haven't already, because there's so much new stuff. While I may not have loved the new chapters, the new missions that were added to the game, I still think it's cool to experience some new story, especially if you love the original story and you want to see more with Edward Kenway and all these other characters. You've got... I love the combat, very, very cool, naval combat, all that stuff. I just think, while it isn't like a remake on the level of like a Final Fantasy VII remake that fully changes everything about the game, or a Resident Evil remake that also mostly fully changes everything about it, it still does more than many other remakes I've ever done, and I respect it for that. And most of the changes it does have are really, really good, and just makes it definitely the definitive version of this game. If you one day say, I want to play Black Flag really bad, highly recommend play Resynced instead of the original. This is the definitive version of the game. I think everything is so well done. I think this is a really, really fun game, and just a fun game to immerse yourself into, explore. It is like Pirate Red Dead for me in a way, and I really enjoyed that. I get to explore this world and really just immerse myself as a pirate, as Edward Kenway, this character I really, really like. And so this is a great game. It's not without its issues. It's not a perfect game. It's not even, I'd say, it's a great game. It's not, in my opinion, an amazing, fantastic game. I just think it's a great game. And so that's why I'm going to give Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced an 8 out of 10, which is a great. It's fantastic. It's a great game. Again, an 8 is a great for me. And a 9 is amazing, a 10 is a masterpiece, and then a 7 is good. So this is a great game. 8 out of 10, great product, game from Ubisoft, just super fun. Had a blast with it, and that's all I gotta say. I know, again, this is a remake, and I've never played the original, so a lot of this was kind of commenting on how much I love, I guess, the original stuff, a lot of stuff from original Black Flag, but all the new stuff as well, or most of the new stuff, are also really great changes as well. So that's going to be all for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced? If you played it yet, are you enjoying it? What do you not like about it? What do you like about it? Any fun stories you have? I'm always down. I would love to hear if you have some fun stories of the game. And yeah, that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for a news roundup video coming this Sunday. And then, honestly, no clue what we're going to do for videos next week since we don't have any games to review. Honestly, might do an Odyssey review. Haven't done a movie review in a while, but we are going to see the Odyssey next week. Very excited for that, so may do a review on that. Probably will, honestly. Very excited for that movie. And then, since I am currently playing Dench Attack, this new cool, very cool indie subway kind of Tony Hawk Pro Skater mixed with like you control a subway, kind of Tony Hawk Pro Skater mixed with like Sonic kind of. It's a blast. I'm really enjoying Dench Attack. Super good game. So maybe I'll have a review, but probably not, just because that's a game I'm kind of just taking morsel by morsel by morsel by morsel. Not really a game I'm trying to finish to get a review out for it. I'm just enjoying that game to enjoy it. So yeah, maybe that, but yeah, definitely expect a news roundup on Sunday, and that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.